Do we have? Hey, this is David Hilster. I am a critical thinker, dissident scientist, and I'm here to tell you the truth about science, something your university professors won't tell you, the mass media won't tell you, and certainly those science evangelists won't tell you. Today, I'm very excited because we have been working months on starting to launch some other dissident channels out there, not just me talking to you, because after a while, you get tired of the same person telling you the truth. So today I am announcing our second channel coming out, and that is with the particle guru Robert D. Hilster. Hello.
Hey, hello. Hi, how are you doing?
So hey, and so you are a particle guru. Tell me a little bit about what your channel is going to be about.
Well, we got an idea that the physics universe and the universe can be described pretty accurately with only three particles. And in contrast to the many particles that we hear from physicists. And these three particles will help explain the atom, molecules, and many other objects. It also explains gravity, light, magnetism, electrostatics, circuits, and I even did some chemistry.
Well, that is amazing. And actually, it's the particle model is pretty much the whole universe is moving mass. And does it have magical quantum mechanics in it? Does it have what?
No magic.
So could we say that this model is all Newtonian?
That's an interesting point. It's one part of it, one level of it is really strictly Newtonian. Second level is another gravity that is like Newtonian gravity, but is actually responsible for the bending of light, magnetic fields, and electrostatics, and so on. Circuit theory, yeah. So it's Newtonian in nature, but there isn't just one gravity. There's actually two gravities in the particle model.
But what I'm saying is, one of the things about, since I know about the particle model, because he and I are writing a book on, oh wait, look at this, coming out sometime. You can see that it says right there, Universe Hack 3.0, a no math physical model of the entire universe, the universe as moving matter. But what I'm saying is, it seems like with the model is that what does it simplify? Remember we had that talk with what's his name? The guy from Germany. Unsicker. You should be able to say that. Unsicker.
Yes.
He speaks German, but a little bit.
Klein Bäche.
And he was talking about simplifying. So this model, I guess what I'm getting at is this model is simplifying it because in this model we don't have the Coulomb's law. There's no gravitational force with G and R, right? And with the two.
Well, that G and R is Newton's law.
Right, but I'm saying, and then there's also Coulomb's law that looks like that. This seems
very much.
This pretty much throws it all out.
Yeah, it throws out Coulomb's law, but when we don't have a charge, because none of our particles have a charge.
Oh my goodness. Are you guys going to want to see that? No charge? That's blasphemy, I tell you. I mean, how can you have a model with no charge? I mean, that seems, I'm just being the devil's advocate, even though I know all the answers to that, but...
Well, one of the biggest objections I have to charge is describing what it is. What is charge? And how does a plus sign here and a minus sign here attract or...
It's the law of plus and minus. Don't you know that, Dad? It's the law of plus and minus. If you put something, for instance, if I take this pen and I put a plus on his format and a minus on mine, our heads will come together. I'm being totally sarcastic because, in truth, charge is a magical property which very few. Actually, I read one person who sent me a book, and he has more fluid dynamics, more sort of like an ether theory. But he says he also doesn't need charge. but that is something in this model. But also it does simplify, because we don't have any, you don't have all those equations that we have in quantum mechanics and all those things. It's truly all moving mass. The other question I have too is, you said 3 particles, but that's pretty much in our universe, right? There are going to be more particles.
There will be more, yeah. I've already conjectured a 4th particle, and it's a little hard to just say out of clear blue sky, but the 3 particles we have are the nucleon, which replaces the proton, and the neutron. Notice that the proton supposedly has a charge. Well, when you replace that with the nucleon, we don't have a charge, so you can't have a proton in our system. The G1 particle replaces the graviton. That's not a common term to most people, but it's a gravity particle. That's part of the standard model, and it replaces the graviton, the electron, and the photon. And when it replaces the electron, and we don't have charge, then the replacement for the electron has no charge. And specifically, there is no electron in our model. And the 3rd particle is a G2 particle, which is actually the nuclear binding force, the particle that causes the nuclear binding force, the atomic binding force, and molecular binding force, literally holding my finger together.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. But of course, we're not going to tell you everything about this, because we're announcing the launching of his site this week, and his website can be found at particle.guru. No com or anything. .guru is now a domain. I don't even know what to call those. .coms and .orgs. Now there's .guru. So particle.guru, you will see the face of Robert D. Hilster, who happens to be my dad, and he's going to be starting to talk about the particle model. We're writing a book about that, correct? How long have we been writing this book?
Too long.
Too long. David's going to finish it. He keeps adding stuff to it.
Yeah, it's a big book. There's a lot in it, but we've been working on that a year, maybe a little more.
I think more than a year. Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah, because at the last conference we had a copy, so
that's right. Yeah, that's right. It would have to be a year and a half then, probably.
Yeah. Because it was in June of 2015, so we're pretty much 2 years into almost. Well, it was a little later when I think a couple months later when we started writing the book, I guess, or started that. I came over and said, we're writing a book. But what's really exciting is that my father, who's been working with a particle model for, well, over 10 years, right? You started when? In 2000?
I worked on gravity starting in 2006, and you pointed me in the direction to help with that experiment. You pointed me in the direction of a particle model for gravity. And so I worked for about 9 years just on that particle model for gravity. And there's papers written. I have a book in waiting about the work I did. And then 2 years ago, I suggested a particle model for light, which immediately set David off into a frenzy. And ever since then, I've not worked much on Newtonian gravity as a particle model. But
just doing a model for all of the universe. That's all, Dad. You dropped gravity and you included everything else. That's pretty exciting, and that's where again we have 3 or 4 videos I'm sort of interviewing my father, and that's the sort of way we're going to be doing this. So we're going to be putting those out, and we've got about 3 of them, I think, at least, that are pretty much you got to see. So once we get this launched, you're going to see 3 videos in order, 1, 2, and 3. It's best for you to watch them. They're not that long, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes. Not even that long. Some of them are even shorter, because my dad talks way less than me and says a lot more. With age, see, 80, 57, so we're cool. And what we'll be doing afterwards, he keeps writing white papers. I mean, my goodness, how many white papers have I received over the years? White papers are my dad's at 3 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the morning. He'll send an email my way and says, oh, by the way, I'm looking at this now. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at this now. So I said, we got to get this all recorded. So it's pretty exciting. We're really looking forward to this new channel. And we have other channels coming. I believe I haven't mentioned that yet. We have Nick of Time and Nick Percival, who has been fighting the good fight for special relativity for 20 years, including fighting directly with the Institute, Einstein Institute in Germany, who's required by law to answer any questions. So he spent 20 years painting them into a corner. And this guy is the best when it comes to time dilation, time and special relativity, observers, that whole thing. That's going to be great. He's been working on his channel as well. We also have the Infinity Guru, who is Dr. Glenn Borkert, who is the Infinity Guru, who will blow your mind with things like consubstantiality. I can't even say this.
Consubstantiality.
I'm a linguist, I can't even say it myself. But yeah, he'll be talking about that. So we hope to be launching that later this year as well. And perhaps I'm looking for Dr. James Maxwell, the rock doctor, but he didn't like that name. So he's going to go with Dave James. Doesn't matter. The guy is absolutely, you can listen, I can listen to him all day. So all of these new critical thinkers out there, besides myself, who just bitches and moans, excuse my language, a lot, and just sits there and complains about things, we have really great things to say, and that's what we're going to also include. Not just telling you how science and major science problems exist out there, like the Big Bang and the particle physics, cosmology, the dark matter, plate tectonics, all of these things, relativity. We are really happy to join the family of our YouTubers. I mean, you got to start YouTubing at, how old are you? Starting yesterday, you turned how old?
My first day octogenarian.
Octogenarian, 80 years old and starting his YouTube channel. I can see it, millions now, going to parks around the world, signing autographs.
I was constricted.
Yes, we actually have him tied to the chair. You can't see it, but anyways, it's going to be pretty exciting. The model is just fantastic, and it's really much better coming out of his mouth than mine often, because I get so excited and I can never stay on subject. So, well, thank you very much, and good to interview Dad, and we look forward to seeing you on the YouTube. So
what's the first one about? Generally, my first.
The very first one is how you came up with the idea for that light and gravity were the same particle. That sort of solves particle duality. He solved wave-particle duality. Boom! You want to hear that? Well, go to his channel, stay tuned. I will let you know about it, and we'll get it out there, and I'll let all of my viewers know about this. I'll put the link down there. Go to a website, keep posted, and during this next week, today is Tuesday when we're doing this, hopefully in the next couple days, you will see Particle Guru, and you will be enthralled, and I'm sure you'll be subscribing to his channel, just like you're subscribing to mine. So thank you very much, and remember what I always say, don't take what anybody says on faith, stay critical, stay thinking. I'm David D. Hilster, and yes, my last video I said, I'm your science evangelist, which is not what I want to be. I said it wrong, so no, I'm not at all. I'm your science therapist. I'm here to make you into a critical thinker. Ciao for now.